miss the desert. I miss the sea. I miss waking up every morning, wondering what wonderful adventure the new day will bring to us. All my life.
Okay, listen. Before I get started, I just want to make one thing clear. I absolutely love the Indiana Jones franchise. I can remember being shown the first 4 films for the first time when I was 7 years old. They were the first set of films that I watched that made me fall in love with films and filmmaking, that I still do today. Before that, as a kid, I remember being really into movies like Toy Story and The Lion King, but it was Indiana Jones that introduced me to a more mature, serious action-adventure series. I was introduced to Star Wars around that same time too, but there's just something about the Indiana Jones trilogy that still has a lasting impact on me. As a kid, I recall wanting to be an archaeologist just because of Indy when I was older. I constantly dressed up in my Indiana Jones costume with the whip and fedora. I wanted to be just like him. And when I wasn't watching or pretending to be Indiana Jones, I was playing the Lego Indiana Jones game on DS. That's the massive impression those 3 movies had on me as a kid, and still has one on me to this day 14 years later. And now there's a 5th Indiana Jones film coming to theatres soon. And of course the 7-year-old in me is screaming and I am so excited, but also the adult in me is nervous at the same time. From what we've been told, this is Harrison Ford's last portrayal of the character, which just makes me sad, but it also makes me glad too. The fact that Harrison Ford is still doing this at the age of 81 is insane, and the fact that he sees no stopping anytime soon is unbelievable. But I am very happy this has been confirmed as Harrison Ford's last part as Indiana Jones, not only because of his age, but because I think this is the right time to put the entire franchise to bed for good. That might sound strange coming from a guy that just glowed about how much this series means to him, but let me explain why. I still stand by that the Crystal Skull should not have been made, not only because the movie sucked ass, but because digging up Indy for another adventure just diminishes the solid conclusion to the story and the character.
Whoa. Whoa.
I stand by that the franchise should have ended in 1989 with The Last Crusade, and I still wish that happened. The final shot of the 4 characters riding off into the sunset was perfect, and was clearly meant to represent the end. But the reason I can look past them making a 5th film is because I see this as a Rocky V situation. And for those who don't understand what that means, let me explain. Basically, in 1990, Rocky V came out and was pretty much intended to be the last installment in the Rocky franchise. And the movie was shit. Fast forward over a decade later, Sylvester Stallone, despite being almost 60, felt like that it wasn't a good ending to the franchise since the movie was such a letdown. So he decided to make one more Rocky movie called Rocky Balboa in 2006 to cap off the franchise. That's a similar situation to me being okay with another one last Indiana Jones movie, to send off the franchise on a high note after the train wreck of Kingdom of the Big Damn Ants.
What? Big damn ants, go!
Now, I really don't mind the abundance of legacy sequels that is happening a lot with franchises lately. I am okay with a legacy sequel being made on 2 conditions. As long as there is a purpose for it to come back, and a good reason for the film to be made. And no, that reason cannot solely be to make money. But most importantly, if the film is good. And I don't think Kingdom of the Colossal Disappointment works there. It has happened to a number of big franchises over the past 10 years, such as Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Rocky and Top Gun, and so on. As we know, this isn't the first time Harrison Ford is returning as a character in a legacy sequel. He returned as Han Solo in The Force Awakens, and as Rick Deckard in Blade Runner 2049. Those are very different to Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, because in The Force Awakens, he was surrounded by newer, younger characters of the franchise, and Han Solo dies in the end of the movie, giving a proper end to the character. And in Blade Runner 2049, his character is more of a side character, and it's more Ryan Gosling's character that takes the forefront. Also, the Star Wars franchise can live on without him, because Star Wars isn't reliant on one character. It's about a full galaxy of characters with plenty of story potential, unlike with Indiana Jones. I think a good example of a legacy sequel that failed was the Jurassic World trilogy, where it seems like they just threw 3 movies together to make a trilogy and milk as much money out of the franchise as possible. But a legacy sequel that succeeded at this and was done really well is the Creed trilogy. Not only honouring the character of Rocky and knowing exactly how to send him off by having him retire and go off with his family, but also building up Adonis Creed as the new face of the franchise and carrying on Rocky's legacy in later films. I think the way they sent off characters like Han Solo with his death and Rocky Balboa with his retirement are perfect examples of how to send off an iconic character. And I hope the Dial of Destiny does the same. But what differs between Indiana Jones and Creed is I think the Rocky franchise can live on and expand, unlike Indiana Jones, because it has established a great deal of characters outside of the main character circle that have more story potential. While the Indy franchise should always stay focused on Indiana Jones as the main character, in my opinion.
I'm Indiana Jones.
So when you're gone, it's
When
gone.
I'm gone, he's gone. It's easy.
Don't get me wrong, I would love to see Harrison Ford play Indy a couple more times, but should he? So digging up Indy for yet another movie, or recasting a younger actor, or making a movie about another character would only diminish the franchise and the ending it had. So Disney, Lucasfilm, let Indiana Jones rest, please. Henry Jones Jr., the character, is dead, but that doesn't mean his legacy and impact dies with him. Instead of mourning Indy, celebrate the life and phenomenal movies that he's been in.
Can I just say, on behalf of all the fans, thank you. It's been such an adventure. We love you so much. I don't want to make you blush or anything, but you mean the world to us, and thank you. That's all I have to say.
And I must say to you, thank you sincerely. It means the world to me.